Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Massenomics podcast. I am Tyler. Next to me is Tommy.
What's up?
And across the way is Tanner.
Howdy.
And now that you've figured out exactly who we are based on our very different sounding voices.
Someone said, messaged and said that I'm
That you're the butthead.
Beavis or Butthead.
Oh, really?
One of them. Yeah,
They
whichever
called you
one we were
out on
talking
it?
about. Yeah, and I can't remember. I just remembered it right now. It's been a while ago, so I won't be able to find it conveniently who said it. But
So that mystery might be solved finally.
yeah, was it Beavis or Butthead?
I think it was Butthead. None of us have the high enough voice for Beavis.
Beavis is the blonde-haired one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Butthead then for sure.
I don't like that. I think we should come up with better analogies, like silky smooth pipes. So this week we're going to start this week's episode by diving into one of the many super stupid fucking things that we're finding in the world of health and fitness.
Let's give it a.
Should we give
We
it
have
a
to
fair
go.
shake?
We have to go
All
through
right,
the
all right.
pros.
Can we
dude.
start off with the New York Times best-selling training method?
Okay, yeah, let's start it with that. This week we're going to dive into the New York Times best-selling training method, the TB12 Method.
TB12? What is
that?
TB12?
That is Tom Brady, who, in case you guys are wondering, while he has had a very long and fruitful NFL career, probably one of the least athletic people in the NFL. You've seen him run.
Have you seen his combine footage?
And isn't he, like, he has something really, just goofy on. Like, he's wearing, jean shorts or something. There's something weird about his outfit, because I remember seeing that footage. And
I mean, if I had to build the ideal athlete, Tom Brady's not the athlete, which would a quarterback who's good at quarterbacking, yes.
Yeah.
But literally any other thing that requires athleticism, I would probably model on literally anybody else in the NFL.
Yeah, I would too. Like,
There'd be a lot better places.
Like, no doubt, he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Might be the.
But yeah, maybe even, totally there's an argument for
But
the
can
greatest.
Tom Brady run a sub 6-second 40-yard dash, honestly?
See, I don't think...
Can he jump more than 4 feet?
It's his physical... I don't think he has, a physical stat sheet that would impress anyone.
Which is why I don't understand why he's selling fitness.
I think it's because he has longevity, and now that you have longevity, you're an expert in something.
I just wonder if old Tom Brady didn't get up to his ass in some fucking weird debt that we don't know about. Like, he had some real estate deals that went
or
bad.
that he knows that certain people in this world worship him and will buy anything that he
Anything.
does.
Such as free shipping on $175 orders on
Of
$50 beanies.
So that's only just like a couple. You only have to buy like a couple beanies to meet that requirement.
Before we get into
Yeah,
the actual
we should
meat
probably-
of this, let's look at just the store, things that he sells. Because actually, when we get into the 12, the 12
I was going to say,
things-
yeah, so we should probably tell. So Tom Brady has developed a book called the TB12 Method. In case you didn't know, TB stands for Tom Brady. 12 is his number.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah. 12 is his number. Also the number of principles that he has that he guides
Well, that's
his
really
athletic
convenient.
career.
That's weird, right?
Yeah,
Do you suppose when he picked the number 12, it was because he had these principles back then and has carried them
Yeah, I'm
all the way
assuming-
through, including these products that just got developed with the book?
Yeah, I'm assuming the reason for 12 principles is just pure coincidence and not that the fact that it made a great marketing plan to have
What if he only had 8?
But you guys are quite sure that he's been applying these for all his seasons of the NFL, right?
That's the only reason he's made it this far.
Like he's literally used these, and these are.
Well,
the
he
reasons
did
that-
say if he would have started these earlier, he thinks his career could have been better.
Maybe he would be able to run, and jump, and change direction. As far as I know, these based on just what Tom Brady's acumen is, you might be able to think well, throw precisely, and have fast eyes? Is that what all these 12
a model
steps
wife
for fast eyes?
Yeah, I know. I think you should dive into the method first, though, Tyler,
Where do we
because a
find-
lot of
that's
go to the
probably
very
right. Where do I
top there where
find
it
the
says method on the very top of the screen. We're at the TB12sports.com website if you guys want to really get the first-hand look at this stuff.
I mean, aside from Massenomics.com, it's probably like the second best.
So this whole
website I've
training
seen.
program kind of comes under fire right away because it was developed by Tom Brady's trainer. I think his name was Alex Guerrera. It's something like that. And he, if you do some research on him, has been in trouble multiple times for claiming to be a doctor when he is not a doctor. He has also claimed to release, or he also had supplements on the market that he claimed could cure cancer and I think stop concussions, if I remember correctly, both of which not true either. But this is who Tom Brady has had as his longtime trainer and has taken up to be his partner in the TB12 method. And with that, the first method, or the first principle of the TB12 method, is pliability. And you might say, what is pliability? And that is the question everyone asks with this stuff. And the more you read about it, you kind of don't get an answer.
Is that a term that people that actually are intelligent about training use?
So
Do people use the word pliability?
I did a very mild amount of research on. I did the due diligence Massenomics research on this stuff.
We thought about it.
Yeah,
and that might have
look
been
for a few minutes. You guys know how to read. You can look into this. But someone was talking about how they did some looking into I think it was like over 600 strength and training articles for the word pliability, and they only found it come up once. So this first thing doesn't seem to be based in any science. But what their mentality here though is that muscles get too hard, and hard muscles are delicate. So you need to lengthen and soften your muscles before and after physical activity. And then right from the website, it says, without pliable muscles, you can't achieve long-term health. Every athlete needs to find a balance between strength, conditioning, and pliability. And the balance will change based on your age, sports, needs, and goals. So here they talk a lot about...
let's recap here. What you're going to see here, this image, though...
Tom Brady's 10-inch bicep.
Is Tom Brady and his 10-inch arms, and he's... like modeling it with a hand. Apparently, is pliability smallness? That's what my definition of pliability is based on what I'm seeing here.
He's shocked himself that his arm's that small. He's like,
What is this thing?
He's looking at his arms going, I am a professional athlete? How? Define athlete.
Their methods for pliability seem to rely a lot on deep tissue massage, but it's not just any deep tissue massage. There's some kind of special massage, and it also involves like
Something
contraction and this muscle-mind connection. Do your science. It'll make sense.
And one of the things that I read in like basically an article that just shits all over this was that all of this, even when you read the chapter on pliability, they don't tell you what to do. There really isn't anything spelled out.
It's just make sure your muscles are soft. And
that's what a lot of the reviews of the book that I saw were like.
Nothing was actually said.
Yeah, you can't really get a takeaway like, okay, I got done with that chapter. I don't know what I really just read or what I'm supposed to do. But
that's probably the method to their madness.
But also though, if you look though, there's a button underneath the pliability section here that says shot pliability, and this also goes into the. I believe one of the cornerstones of the TB12 method, which is
you can buy the shit.
Which is you can buy our stuff. And when it comes to pliability, they have three tools: a vibrating foam roller
for $200,
a vibrating ball for $150, and a performance mat for $80. The performance mat is a yoga mat, so. We have an $80
trapezoidal.
It says no. I think that's actually just the angle. I think it is actually.
It is. It's just a rectangle.
It rolls up
when you draw a road when you're a kid. The interesting thing is, so we have just basically like a 6-inch round like mobility ball that vibrates. Now my question is, same thing with the foam roller. Could you or could you not just lay on a thing that vibrates with a regular old foam roller?
Or does the vibration...
That's my first question. Is the vibrator really the deal breaker in this thing?
Is that the difference between a $200 foam roller and a $30 foam roller?
In this case, yes.
That thing better vibrate like really, really, really well.
Pleasure you in ways you've never known possible.
In ways that only Tom Brady can imagine.
So yeah, that's the first foray into the store. Is we have our...
Well, I'm in so far.
Yeah. Well, and if you buy that $150 vibrating ball... and maybe add a beanie in there, you will get free shipping at that point because you hit the $175
But they will not ship
qualifier.
that ball for free.
No,
spend
it doesn't cost
$25 more dollars.
Pliability
Next-
is definitely the missing leg of my performance training
Yeah.
because I'm
I don't even
certainly
know what
not
that is.
focused on the pliability.
How,
And
how
here's-
pliable are your muscles?
Here's the one thing, like, there's a lot of people that would say, like, yeah, like a hard, stiff muscle. Yeah, like you don't want a stiff muscle. Like, yeah, we get that. And foam rolling,
Except for the one.
foam rolling has its place. And Donnie Thompson even goes into some kind of realms with this, with his body tempering. But I at least think that some of that is kind of based in science a little bit.
Or
it
at least-
it has
And it's
proven.
also based upon like doing a thing that will like if you're gonna do that, it should be to enable you to perform in your sport, not
Yeah.
just like arbitrarily plyifying your fucking muscles. Because if he can make up words, I can too.
Yeah. So it seems like this is their take on monetizing active recovery.
Yes,
And as active as foam rolling is, I guess you could say.
we got TB2 up in this bitch.
So what's the second principle here, Tyler?
Holistic and integrative training. Nothing works in isolation. Everything we do at TB12 is interdependent, and we believe that a holistic approach works better than a divided one. The body is one system. Treat it well. It's the only one you have.
So by the picture of this one, I can tell that you're
swimming.
supposed to go swimming.
I guess.
I think reading this one, see, again, it's so vague. What does that mean?
I don't
It
know.
sounds like, from what I've read, there's some things, again, that they keep talking about, like the mind-muscle connection, that bodybuilders talk about and all that. And again, it kind of gets into the bro sciencey realm because it's kind of hard to scientifically quantify some of this stuff. So you just kind of
Say
have
it's
to take,
hard or that it's not pliable. To
you know what? It hasn't been pliable yet. That's the problem.
pliified. So that's just like whatever.
Yeah, the body needs to work. I guess you can't argue that. Yeah, the body should work
you
together.
should work your body as a system. That does make sense.
It's kind of like saying drugs are bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then next, balance and moderation in all things. We subscribe to the precept of balance and moderation in all things. Too much of a good thing isn't a good thing. Too many bad things are just plain bad. Well, Tom, we agree. And I don't understand why he's not selling any products in that regard.
He apparently doesn't think that too much money is a bad thing, or else he
No,
wouldn't be on this adventure.
Next, we have conditioning for endurance and vitality. Conditioning is about having the energy, endurance, and vitality to perform the activities you love in a healthy, pain-free way. Good health is about how you feel. We've been educated around how we look, but feeling better, that's the key. So how do you condition in order to feel better? And do you suppose he actually spells out a plan for that in the book? I'm going to go with a hard no.
far,
Well,
it
they
seems
might
like
not
no.
because I also noticed there are some coaching certifications you can get for this. So maybe if you go to the coach's clinic, then you might be able to know the ins and outs of that. Yeah, so I don't really know what that again. Yeah, conditioning's good.
For endurance, yeah, you should condition for endurance,
And vitality.
whatever that is. Yeah. Next, we have
This one is one of my favorites.
This one's my favorite too.
That's one of my favorites when I caught a glimpse of the price of the bands that they're selling on their website.
So we have no load strength training. That's already the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The function of your muscles is to protect your bone structure and support the acts of daily living. You should train to develop the optimal strength to do the job your body needs to do while limiting the load, especially the overload you put on your joints. Now,
yeah, everyone knows you can't
literally,
get stronger if you're overloading.
If you're
Yeah.
if you're not
Overload
if you
will
never
ruin this.
ever overload, you cannot get stronger. That is literally the way your fucking body works. Like there is no way to not approach overload
well,
and get stronger. It doesn't work that way.
you know what? I think this argument will be settled in 20 years when Tom Brady has his own football team and has the whole linebacking core doing banded work all day.
They don't even have a weight room. They just have bands.
Yeah, so with this though, this is another one where you can get a glimpse into the shop here to buy some.
We got
gear
Tom
that-
Brady. He doesn't do regular push-ups or bench. He does bands around his back and does push-ups. So we have the shoulder performance kit, which is basically the like little crossover symmetry bands
for $150.
$160.
$160. Well, it does come in a cinch bag
Oh.
though.
Wow. One of those free bags that you get that you don't
anywhere.
want. Yeah.
We have the TB12 Pro Looped Band Kit that comes with not one, not two, but about 6 bands for $150.
And you have gray, red, blue, and black. So
And comes with a bag. The basic looped band kit with just 3 is $80. the TB12 Looped Band Startup Kit that comes with Tom Brady's custom protein, some weird water squirty thingy.
Those are electrolytes. We'll get to those.
Oh, that's what plants crave.
So the book and the protein are worth like $100 and some.
Yes. And there's a couple extra bands thrown in there.
Oh, okay.
We have the weighted vest, which is $140.
Does it come with? I want to know. Does this? I hope it comes with the weights. It has to come with the weights
Wait,
for
a
$140.
10-pound or 20-pound?
Mild weights.
Very.
And, like, I'm going to go out on a limb. This looks, as a CrossFit coach, I see weighted vests from time to time. Guys, don't fucking buy this at all. This is a piece of shit. There's no fucking way that you can do anything in this. It's garbage. It's a waste of money. Unbelievable. $140 for that, too. You have the agility ladder for $80.
I would like to get a really, really nice, like, super weighted vest that you can go really heavy with.
Yeah,
That'd be good. That's a good tool.
Well,
So,
like
like,
more than 20 pounds, or
I have a couple
like
guys that have
100 if you
I have
could
a
put
couple
that,
guys
you
that
know.
have the Rogue ones that basically you put in huge steel plates that drops in the front and the back, and they're pretty sweet. It's borders on actually being like body armor, even though the plate specifically says this
would you
is
say
not
it's
body
maybe
armor.
crossing into the realm of overloading though?
Yeah, see, that's what I would
that
worry
is
about.
not a
the
place
weighted
you wanna
vest.
go.
Yeah, maybe stick with the 10-pounder.
Yeah.
Don't get into overload.
But what if the 10 pounds is even more than you've done before? That's where I'm
Stick
worried.
with
Like
the bands until you're strong enough. We have a 5-pound medicine ball. Please tell me they go heavier than this.
Well, if it was heavier, though, it'd probably cost a lot.
We have up to 30
How much is the
medicine
30?
ball.
Yeah. How much is a 30-pound medicine ball? Because the 5-pounder is $90. I don't know what a medicine ball costs. but-
$140. That's actually like, I don't know how big. Yeah, that's not a terrible price for what you pay for those types of things. But I don't know if it's good.
You have to assume it's better than Rogues, right?
Certain.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
I wouldn't buy a Rogue one just because they're way more expensive than the ones I got that are fine. But and then the Performance Mat again, another $80. I like it. Well,
So-
at least this is working for Tom.
Yeah. What method? The no load strength training. Okay, so now that we know how to have the perfect body from not lifting weights,
So that we can all look like Tom Brady with 10-inch arms.
he did look way more jacked in that push-up picture than I picture that he actually
I
looks
don't
like.
think Tom Brady looks jacked in real life.
I think that's a little bit doctored, possibly.
Anything that reduce. And next, number 6, promote anti-inflammatory responses in the body. Anything that reduces inflammation in our bodies, including proper hydration, healthy nutrition, maximizes pliability and accelerates recoveries. To avoid self-inflammation, whether it's in your mind, body, or spirit. Well, that's weird.
So here, I think the big thing that they're trying to promote here is hydration. They even go on to make claims that if you are properly hydrated, you can't get sunburned, which has been disputed by science as being pretty much not true.
That's a soft maybe.
Yeah, we don't know. But they just go on to say that I think Tom Brady attributes a lot of his success in life to the amount of water he drinks. And no one's going to say, like, yeah, you should probably lay off the water. Like, that's
Right.
not bad advice, but I think they maybe take it a little too far into how much he attributes to his water consumption.
And I would say the absence of or the desire to totally eliminate inflammation. I do know that in recovery of injury, inflammation plays an important role. Like you don't I'd be curious to hear. I kind of know Professor Schanz's take on that, and
he would have been a good guy to have here for this thing.
People that overuse
Anti-inflammatory medication.
non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like
Don't heal.
because it's
Well, that's your
removing
body's-
that inflammatory
that's your
process.
body's healing
I
response.
would
is to-
assume that what he's talking about here would be chronic inflammation, caused
Yeah.
by dietary things, and that is, I
Makes sense.
guess. But
Well, and just the drinking water is a good. I mean, of course. You want to
so
drink water.
Tom Brady wrote a book in which 1/12 of the principles is that you should drink water.
I think he does go on to just say like how he does drink insane amounts of water. Actually, he even does have proper hydration as another
separate one. He's
coming
got
up. But
two
in
chapters.
that first part, you know what? I think we'll touch on this one later. So we'll keep strolling along here.
Number 7, promote oxygen-rich blood flow. The blood that flows to your brain is the same blood that flows to your feet. No shit, you guys. and everywhere in between.
It's not the one from the
as
separate
though
heart and
as though your blood teleports. The more ways you can foster the circulation of oxygen-rich blood and 100% muscle pump function, full contraction and relaxation, obviously again without overload, in every part of your body, the better. So the more your blood flows, the better you are. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't even really know what this chapter talks about, but based off of that, I would say it's talking about how to get more oxygen-rich blood.
Meaning just blood.
Yeah.
So next we have proper hydration, drinking enough water every day, preferably with electrolytes, because if you've seen Idiocracy, it's what plants crave. It's essential for muscle pliability and optimal health. And there's Tom Brady.
Stop hydration. You can buy a case of water.
Very daintily drinking a glass of water, like
a small glass of water.
Yeah.
So yeah, hydration. What do we have here? We have a jug of protein
for $54.
Do you know how many servings are in that jug of $54
Let's
protein?
find out. This is going to hurt my feelings.
I think it is 20.
Yeah.
So 1 pound. That is 1 pound. $54. What the fuck?
That's the price of that's 5 pounds would typically be.
Oh, it's also unflavored, so joyless.
But also, is this a hydration tool or?
I think this is part of the proper supplementation.
Okay. This is more about Tom's.
It's more like the easiest supplement to sell someone, probably.
So this is Mio.
So yeah, now we
have the electrolytes, which is
a $15 bottle.
Oh, pH balances your ionic trace minerals.
So this is another big thing in this is, and I guess it probably ties more into the nutrition side, but when he talks, supposedly they're really big into the pH balance and your alkaline levels. And we've even touched on this in the show of before about people talking about how you need to balance out your system, and it's like, well, but your body holds itself to such a tight regulation. Like if you start changing your pH, you're going to be in big trouble.
What is that people drink? Hydrogen peroxide? Like I've seen someone say that before. Like take a shot, a small amount of hydrogen peroxide which is like poisonous.
I don't know. It's just.
And now he has a nutrition chapter, and I assume there's a picture of certainly not any meat. So that's
this was the interesting thing about the nutrition option. It says you should eat as much plant-based food as possible, which no one's going to argue with that. Yeah. Plant-based food, great. But then it goes on to say you should avoid carbs, sugars, and fats at all costs, basically, which means you eat just protein. Like, are you going to get 2,000 calories a day off of just protein?
No, I think that's why Tom Brady's small and slow and makes his living standing in a pocket throwing a ball, taking 5-step drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great way to not have to be strong, for sure. I am certain that Tom Brady does not want his fucking offensive line eating that diet. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if you look, there's a lot of protein. I mean? There's plant-based protein bars in there that have a limited shelf life because they're plant-based. You have some, I think maybe even some meal plan options.
Oh, look at this. Of course, protein bars, TB12 Crunch, grain-free granola snacks. This way you don't have to buy groceries. You can just give all that money to Tom Brady. Jesus.
The nutrition manual sold out.
So, next, protein. Oh, that's why, you guys. He doesn't want you to eat, he wants you to eat all plant-based stuff. And then when you need extra protein, you just buy his protein supplements. Yeah,
principle number 10 is supplementation.
There's so much overlap with all of this stuff.
There really is.
There's actually 6 steps. He just needed to make it 12 because that was his number. And we're back to the same thing, $54 for
1 pound of protein.
21 servings.
That step 8 that you guys were talking about reminded me of something that I've meaning to ask you guys about. Do you guys really think that hydration is important?
Tanner, I was waiting for someone to bring this up because hydration is one of the most important things to me.
It's actually, I would say it's one of the most important things to Tom Brady. He wrote a book in which 3 chapters are about hydration.
I think it's a thing with guys that go by the name Tom. They know the importance of hydration. So from one Tom to another, I know what you're doing here.
What's interesting is Tom Brady here is drinking out of this weak-ass little glass.
Oh my God, what is that, like 10 ounces?
At best.
It doesn't even look stylish.
And what happens if it gets knocked over with all of the intense physical activity that he does throughout the day?
And do you think he even sells those that have
the TB12 brand on it?
Well, but I mean, just some different logos and color options to match like people's personal taste.
Their wardrobe,
do you
their
know
vibe.
of anything, Tanner?
Yeah,
I was trying to think of something.
Is
it was
there
on the tip
anything-
of my tongue. Let me think about. Oh, right here, the Flex Flask by Massenomics.
That looks like a pretty serious hydration tool.
Yeah, it's 41 ounces. If you're into step 8 of TB12, this would probably be a key. If you're into spending $150 on 3 bands, we'll sell you this for like $200.
Yeah.
Or you could just buy like 5 of them for that price. It's
But in all actuality, you can get one of these from our store for $25. It holds 41 ounces, double wall stainless steel, vacuum sealed.
You can even put your wacky Tom Brady electrolytes in there.
That's true. That like the amount that comes in his little bottle would probably last one serving of this.
Well, then you can give more money to Tom.
But ours actually comes in 3 different designs. Here's our probably our most world famous Weekend Warrior Lift design. And then what else do we got?
We got the straight OG Massenomics logo, the M, in black and white. And then we have we don't have it here with us, but we do have the Massenomics Huge Life logo, the newest up-and-coming Massenomics product.
Yeah.
And that's available in black and white as well.
If you buy that one, you're able to kind of get out in front of, you know what, not that it's a bad thing, but everyone knows this at this point. Like, that's a good thing. I look at that as a positive, but
Yeah.
you
Get
could
that to fit in with the crowd for sure. You're going to be a loser.
You don't want to look like a shithead.
But you should get the Huge Life one so that you can be cooler than the rest of those other
trendsetter.
people. Yeah, definitely. So maybe Tom Brady. Maybe we've been going about this all wrong, shitting on Tom Brady this whole time.
So that's just one of our steps. We have 11 other things to sell you here today, too.
well, we have like
next step-
36
the next
steps
step
because we believe in
To
going
being
bigger with
huge
this.
is getting super dope hats and such.
That reminds me of the hats that we sell.
The TB12, the Tanner Baird 12.
Yeah, we'll sell ours for $50 if that's the going rate.
So yeah. Anyway, go to Massenomics.com. You can get the Flex Flask. If you want to go to TB12Sports.com, just don't.
Did we get through all of them?
No,
Is
we
there
didn't.
anything
yet.
else?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
We had to
I
interject before
just
we got
saw
too
a really
far.
good opening there.
The next one.
Like Tom Brady completing a pass. Saw a good
look at
opening
that.
and had to take it.
All the way down the field.
He got that
Touchdown,
because
6
of
points.
step 11, brain exercises. Neuroplasticity is all about generating and regenerating neural connections. which
Whoa,
happens-
would you actually say neuroplasticity is all about the proper buzzword in your apps or whatever you are promoting?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily. Yep.
What about neural pliability?
Hey,
I think
now-
that's some kooky shit.
Yeah.
that was probably the 13th one, but it did.
Which happens only when we train our brains the same way we train our muscles, which is by not overloading and keeping it small.
Not
But
strength
if you
training.
wanted to, there's something called Brain HQ. What can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Oh, there's
Tyler?
a whole thing.
Is
you
it
can
free?
buy.
Brain HQ.
Honestly, I bet it is because he's doing this whole thing out of the kindness of his
Oh,
fucking heart.
it's an app for your phone. Okay.
Learn more. Do I learn more?
Yeah, let's learn more about
I
this
feel like
thing.
How many pages do we have to click on here till
I
you
don't
finally
even
get to
understand
the,
the point
the
of
bottom?
the first click.
Okay.
Now this shit's gonna pop up in my Facebook.
You,
Oh yeah,
Never
yeah.
know.
You're gonna.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You've been infected by Tom Brady. Well,
Me and Giselle both.
it's not loading, but from what I have heard, the
neuroplastic
the
as
Brain
fuck.
HQ is an app for your phone. I believe it's $12 a month,
I think
or
it's like $14.99 a month.
or $15 a month, or I think you can get it
What?
for a whole year for $95.
Which is
and
more than Netflix.
And it's fun little activities you can do to keep your brain limber and moving. But also,
Soft,
if
like
you
your
are
muscles.
into science, I think you could do a little bit of research and find out that things like Brain HQ and whatever those other brain apps are haven't been shown to really have any correlation to
I think you probably
Like an
would
increased
be,
intelligence, or
increased
like
intelligence or
performance, or
Don't you
they
think
say-
that you'd be better off like maybe reading a book and learning?
Yeah,
Just
I think they
learn.
say
Yeah,
most
would make your
benefits
brain
that
better.
you might pull from it tend to be placebo. So keep that in mind when you're paying $15 a month for his brain app.
That's a really good point, though. That time that you're using to do that, you could just learn about. You could read about
You
a
could
topic
learn
that you're
so
interested
much.
in,
Yeah.
or even like find a movie about it if you can't
or
read,
even
you
like
know?
maybe just buy like a Sudoku book for like $3, and you
Crossword
have
puzzles.
you
Do it out
have
of-
years
I
worth.
just do it out of the paper every day, and it's free.
So, the final one, which kind of seems like they could have piled all this together: brain rest, recentering, and recovery. The body and brain need rest, recentering, and recovery via sleep, meditation, or other balancing techniques that encourage the right mindset, and recovery innovations such as tech-enabled sleepwear. I'm guessing that's going to come out for sale soon. I don't see. I don't see Tom Brady's tech-enabled sleepwear yet.
Do you think he's wearing lipstick in that picture up there of him sleeping?
Kind of looks like it.
It's probably some special gloss balm
He
that
definitely
holds
is wearing
holds the
makeup in that
moisture in.
picture,
Yeah.
though. So, yeah.
So there you guys have it.
So, what do you guys think that how much money are they making? Like, how many people are on board with this?
Well, given that he's Tom Brady and he's on the Patriots, and it's a successful team and a large market team, I would just think there's a lot of people that, there has to be a lot of people buying this stuff.
But who
I know
are those people?
The reason I found out about this is because someone I have on Snapchat had it on their story that they were jacked to get this book, and I was
Someone you have?
someone I have.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, I gotta look into this thing. What is this all
Did you,
about?
did you let that? Do you know that person well?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I've
'Cause
also
I-
seen this person talk about the importance of get into a pretty heated Facebook argument about the importance of your blood pH levels.
Oh, Jesus.
And then someone started sending some science-based articles, and then they said, well, you can't trust that. And it was
Do you
that
think
whole
we
thing.
have any listeners that would be that are hearing about this?
You know,
like,
statistically-
that doesn't sound that bad.
I
Yeah,
was going to say, statistically, we probably have at least one listener that's bought this thing.
I think if they're into our thing, that they
Yeah,
are
you're
aware
probably
enough
right.
that even if they don't care, if they've just had our podcast on in the background enough times, they probably know that this is
Yeah.
bull.
And this has even gone on. It's the funny thing is, in my own words, that on here, there's this article of the trainer, how he literally he had to put out an article this month defending himself because of all
'Cause
the
he
fire
got
he's coming
blasted.
under. Yeah, he got blasted by ESPN, and supposedly he's causing a lot of turmoil in the Patriots organization.
But the
The thing is,
important
if you're Tom Brady, you're a pretty rich person. You have a lot of people trying to get you in their corner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can be a wacky kook of a trainer, but if you can just get Tom Brady to trust you, you're set for life.
Which
and
is
you
what
can
happened.
blow smoke up Tom Brady's ass all the time. As long as Tom Brady's feeling good and the fucking gravy train's still moving forward, like Tom Brady will still kick you $20,000 a month to keep him fucking drinking electrolytes or God knows what.
Yeah.
And then like this
So
guy's just
this guy
set.
got made.
Yeah,
for,
he just got in. He rode. He just stuck his hand in Tom Brady's back pocket, just hanging the fuck on until it all melts
Something
down.
that reminded me of just an interesting aside is I heard about when Dennis Rodman was big with the Chicago Bulls, like 90, 94, 95, 96, when they're on their run, winning 3 in a row, and he was there. He was obvious. I mean, everyone knows about Dennis Rodman and his shenanigans and partying all the time and
Yeah.
stuff. But there's a story about this was one of the training assistants for the Bulls at the time that they basically the Bulls assigned him. Rodman was hurt, and the Bulls were on a long road trip, and so Rodman was back in Chicago still, and they assigned this trainer to stay with him and like essentially babysit him. But Rodman like took this guy under his wing and
Taught
like
him the ropes.
yeah, and like private jet flying. They're like, "Do you want to go to a NASCAR game?" Or like this guy liked NASCAR, and Rodman was like, "All right, let's go." And he called his jet, picked him up. They flew there, and it's like on the way there, he's like, "Do you want to drive the Porsche or the Lambo?" And he like flipped him the keys for whichever he chose. But it ended up going on for like 2 or 3 years that this guy was just like Rodman's
Dude.
yeah,
Just
and
his
like,
bro.
and I've heard him talk about it, how he said it was like the greatest time of his life, and he was just some basically a random guy
Yeah.
that got to ride along on that for those years. I thought that was kind of funny, just being in the
that's-
right place at the right time.
That'd be cool to be that guy.
Yeah, much like this guy, probably making a lot more money and not doing.
Tom Brady got that death stare
Yeah.
through them weak ass arms of his.
Tom, the most important question though, Tommy, what do you think of the logo?
It's
I
okay.
think it's confusing.
It is
Here's my
confusing.
confusion. It honestly looks more like a T13 than a 12. You got to break it
Yeah.
below
Well, if you see it,
He doesn't have a graphic design guy like we got. Yeah.
You know, not everyone can afford that in the budget.
Yeah.
I think they also have from what I hear, there is a TB12. What is it? TB12 or 13? 12. There's a TB12 training center too. Yeah, there is a training center for this too, where you can go and all good things happen. And seems to be another source for the Patriots of political issues within the organization and favoritism. And
I see there he's going with the red and blue, white and black color scheme.
Yeah, much like a team that he plays for. Oh,
We're going to find out what all this has done to Tom Brady's physique. Tom Brady, athletically, super average.
I mean, he's not like obese or
No,
he's just
But I think that if a guy really owns his nutrition to the point in which you should take advice from him, he probably should look a little better than that.
You would say if you saw that, just if that was just a random guy, you'd be like,
Man, get your
shit
shit together.
He might like go to a gym
I would have been like,
somewhere,
he probably played sports in college.
Yeah.
Would be my.
I would say no. I would go as far as high school. Yeah, because this was him after college.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's sad.
Yeah. So do you guys want to play devil's advocate with this thing now?
Yeah. So what are the
So
positives?
How do you explain how long he's been in the league if this stuff doesn't work?
He's a fucking champion.
Well, he's
So this is the deal. We've kind of talked about this in other things before, but people who are like really good professional athletes who are gifted either athletically or just Tom Brady has the will. He's a gamer, right? Like Tom Brady's the guy. If you give him the fucking ball, he's gonna fire it to the guy who it needs to go to, and he's gonna. He'll take a lick, he'll take a hit right to the fucking face in order to put the ball downfield.
There may or may not be ball inflation issues along the way. And...
But that doesn't mean that he is like. Should we take his advice on fucking real estate too? You know what I mean? Like,
have you seen his real estate portfolio?
It's actually better than mine. I'm certain. So maybe, but some of these guys they get this way because they are gifted. They have the will. They have all this. And I'm not saying Tom Brady doesn't work hard, but it seems like this is so far out. Like Tom Brady's athleticism and overall health is not the reason why he's still in the game.
See, I think this is
because
if people were to point out the longevity, I think you're looking at the wrong
position,
wrong things here. Like, yeah, you can't take a running back or a linebacker. They're never going to have longevity because their job is to basically get murdered every single play.
Tom Brady's job is to not get touched.
Is besides like the punter, like the least touched guy on the field, you know?
And he missed an entire season due to injury at one point in time, but a lot of
like
that
the one time he got touched
is just luck of the draw, though. There's no like when you're playing a sport of football, there's no other like you can't. This is the luck of the draw to a certain extent that he hasn't got an injury.
He's also been blessed enough to have the luxury of having a fairly decent offensive lineman to protect him throughout his career.
In an organization that was competitive as an organization the whole time, both because of him and also because they were competitive. They weren't, they didn't have to rebuild. They had to keep a line there to keep him intact. And I don't know. I don't fucking get it. I got to find this other quarterback here.
Oh, Peyton Manning.
He maybe should have applied these principles.
Peyton should, but Peyton had a pretty long career.
Yeah. Let's talk about someone possibly less athletic than Tom Brady.
Yeah. But I'm trying to see years in the NFL for this guy here.
James Harrison's been around a long time. Do you think he's followed
That's
this?
more impressive. So I would take athletic advice from James Harrison, whose job is to kill or be killed.
Well, and he's a freak in the gym. Like, he's strong as hell,
Yeah.
If Tom Brady was selling quarterback training advice,
it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
That guy probably, obviously.
And I feel like one of his principles would be have the Tom Brady sixth sense, because there's some of these things you just can't quite pin down. It's like play football for 30 years, and then you will know how to handle the situation.
Yes.
Like, you find an article here.
I just want to throw out somebody else who had a very long career. 1998 to 2015. So we have 17 years in the NFL. Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
I mean, just because he was a backup for 90% of those years, like, I don't know. I'm certain he's faster than Tom Brady.
He might be in the same ballpark.
But it's one of the I just don't think that there.
Right.
And it's so like his longevity in the league. Granted Brady's won the rings and such, but his longevity, which is what he's selling, he's not selling his championship rings here. Yeah. But his longevity is based upon the fact that he didn't get hit either because he was not quite good enough to start, which I think is the best. That's what they should be selling here. You want a long career in the NFL, be good enough to get in and not good enough to fucking play.
Yeah. Like a perennial
Hold a
backup.
clipboard.
The backup quarterback is also typically the most well-liked position in NFL anyways, because on a poor team, everyone's always rooting for the backup quarterback. You're one of the most beloved.
And if it's a good team, they got to like you because if the good guy gets hurt, like they really need you to hold it down for a couple of games.
Yep.
But, I don't know. Tom Brady's getting a little far out of his realm of expertise as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think this is even him at this point. I think it's a trainer, and then there's a bunch of moving parts that know there's money.
A bunch of marketing people that are like,
Well, he didn't come up with any. Do you think he came up with one of those 12 things?
No.
Do you think anything?
And I think maybe some of those things have gotten stuffed down his throat by that kook trainer.
Well, in hindsight, he probably pitches some of those things now.
But I don't believe for a second that like Tom Brady's like, hey, I should drink fucking salt water or whatever it is this shit is. So I just, it doesn't make any sense to me. But that's our take on the TB12, which is definitely go buy all the stuff.
Basically, in a nutshell, 5 out of 5 stars. Would recommend to a friend.
Tell a friend and buy their shit.
Yeah, and you can use promo code Massenomics. To get 15% off everything.
Full disclosure, we are an affiliate.
If it doesn't work, I need you to call Tom Brady directly.
Tyler is almost TB12 Method certified here, so pretty soon.
It was as easy as my CrossFit level 1.
Isn't there 12 levels though of the certification process?
Yeah, it's $1,000 a piece.
Yeah. Don't eat my hat, Fletch.
Oh, we got a dog in here again. Just holding it down. He's gonna hair up your shit. But so I don't know. What is there anything else like that you see getting thrown out there?
So what this makes me think of is when you see like really high level athletes toting things that really don't seem to be based in science. It also reminds me of the endorsements you see with high level athletes with like I think Herbalife has some soccer players, maybe some basketball players, I don't know.
Or even like Rich Froning with Advocare.
Yes, and it's like
Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, I get it. You had to get some money, but like was Rich Froning just like at peak Advocare when he was winning CrossFit games left and right?
No, like if he took protein shake maybe, but like these people get on that Advocare shit and they get like, well, I got to take the whole thing, so I'm going to do the 30-day deal, and I got 40 different products to fucking take over the course of this. It's dog shit.
I would rather just spend my money with a company that's more concerned with my performance and not how many of their products I'm selling.
Exactly.
The
other thing I think is interesting as far as like just money grabs is what you see out there in the world of lifters, which is people who are a really good, really talented lifter or just a personality that now sell programming.
Yeah, that's another one.
And that like if you're buying Bradley Martin's fucking ARM program, Bradley Martin is not writing that and sending that out.
There are people out there, if they're selling a program, they're super intelligent.
Or if they're selling coaching.
There's the misconception that you have to be strong to be a good coach, to be a good strength coach, which is not true at all.
And I would say that's why I would say don't take advice necessarily from the highest performing athlete. But with the Brady thing, I guess again we're shitting on his athleticism, and then so we're beating this around either way. But he's attributing his credibility to his longevity, which is whatever. But that's no different than someone saying, I squat 1,000 pounds. Now let me tell you what to do. But I'd be like, well, who taught you how to squat 1,000 pounds? Who coached you through that? Because it's no different than saying like Bill Belichick, probably not a very good fucking football player right now, or for the last 10 years. And yet,
I don't think he really ever was.
And yet,
was he?
I don't know.
And yet a really good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best.
Look at most of the NBA coaches. The best NBA coaches are not Hall of Fame players. Same thing with guys that used to play in the NFL. You remember, what was the guy's name? He coached for the Niners for a while. Hall of Famer.
The black African American.
Yeah, what was his name?
Linebacker for the Chicago Bears.
Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get a fucking team to do what he wanted him to do if his life depended on it, because he's a guy, as a coach, your job is to rally the other 90%, not your 10% who are just going to go out there and cut someone's head off for you. You have to get the other 90% on board, and he couldn't do that because he was in that 10%. He was like, well, I don't understand. You should just go out and fucking kill yourself.
Better, and you should be better than everyone else, kind of naturally a little bit.
That's just what I do. And so usually a great athlete does not translate into a great coach. That's not mutually exclusive, but that's why I always. But you see it now, like on Instagram, everybody who's strong
selling programs,
will sell programs,
or any girl that almost has a six pack. Has a program they're selling.
And just a program itself.
I guess you probably can't fuck up, but they're certainly not writing it. But coaching, there's some where I believe they are doing the coaching, and there's others where it's like, man, that guy ain't answering them emails. I know that guy can't even hardly write.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, if you want a program, just Google there's 1,000 programs out. Like,
well, if you want to pay for a program, email us at getbig@massenomics.com and
charge you.
We'll take your money.
Yeah.
I mean, give you a program.
But coaching, on the other hand, if you're looking for good coaching, that can be found, and that's valuable. There's a value to that.
Have you guys done any of that? Any online coaching stuff through anybody? Who do we know that has? Thick Nick did through
Matt Winning.
Matt Winning. He was pretty satisfied with all of that, wasn't he, for the most part? It was expensive.
I think he had his ups and downs. Like there were some things that worked really good for him, and some things that
I think he probably drew some things from it, but ultimately decided not to continue.
He didn't continue it. Yeah. But I think.
But I would say there's value of the experience for
Yeah. And it's like anything else; it just may not have been for him. Too.
Right.
But any remote coaching is hard. I couldn't imagine having to coach somebody hands off from 1,000 miles away from two like videos a week.
Right.
Yeah. And with that, like, you got to make sure, especially with this Tom Brady, this TB12 thing, and with online coaching, like, seek someone out because they are an expert and they are knowledgeable and they are like using scientific principles or something to try to find out or give you a reason why. Like, don't just like fanboy over someone and be like, that's the person for me. Like, because there's a big difference there. Like, you gotta have a little bit of you gotta be critical with this a little bit, like put some thinking forward.
Speaking of critical thinking, I don't have anything to say with
that. Did we ever talk about our bar situation, how we have them now?
I don't know if we did, but people would probably want to know.
A formal announcement.
We did.
Relax, everyone.
We did receive the Kabuki Strength Power Bar and Duffalo Bar. It took well over a month, but
we've had them a couple weeks
this
now.
This was over the holiday season.
Yeah,
in their defense,
and that's exactly why they took so long. Is because they
had big sales.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine it would take that long if you ordered one now.
I
bet
think
not. Yeah,
but it was just starting to turn into the mystery of when are these just going to magically show up here.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on them, Tanner?
What are your thoughts, Tommy?
I haven't used. Maybe talk about the Duffalo Bar.
Okay,
I haven't used that at all.
Talk about the Duffalo
and I
Bar.
never used the Bow Bar either.
Yeah, the Duffalo Bar in comparison to our, not cheaper brand Buffalo Bar or Bow Bar is, I mean, it's
a world of difference.
Yeah, you can just
look
at them
like
and
the craftsmanship on it looks really good.
Yeah, it depends on what you really need or want. Like, I'm not saying to go out and buy a $500 or $600 bar just because it's really nice. I mean,
if you're a person who has one bar and this is gonna be your second bar, I don't know.
Yeah,
like maybe get.
Because how much is the regular Bow Bar or the Buffalo Bar?
$220
so
or something like that.
The quick thing is
it's over twice as expensive.
Yeah, is it over twice as good? Probably not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a lot better, but it's not.
Yeah,
like you don't get twice the utility out of it.
No, but it is. I would say it is a way better made bar.
Yeah,
it'll last
knurling is infinitely better.
Knurling,
yeah, infinitely better.
The knurling on the Bow Bar, the Buffalo Bar, is a fucking toy bar. Knurling.
Yeah,
it's like Walmart cap strength. Like Dick's Sporting Goods, shitty.
But
knurling.
it holds up to the Buffalo
we
Bar.
We both
has
had
worked
PR squats on those fucking Bow Bars.
It's held up to I'm sure you could put well over 700 pounds on it, and there wouldn't be any issues with it. But it doesn't stay on your back as well. The Duffalo Bar with the knurling sits better on your back and stays there more adequately.
I
think.
have,
And it has a little more drastic of a curve too.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
more of a curve, and then
because of that, it's less wide.
yeah, and it has like a little bit.
It actually
of a
ramps.
actual flat.
And well, I think it actually goes up.
Yeah,
So
it
where
kinda
the
does
sleeves
look
are,
like
it does
that.
go up, meaning you don't have the trouble of loading it. Like at least on the rack I squat in, where it's going to shift over and dump the weights. So I do like that. Loading it's a lot easier. It seems to sit on my back a lot easier.
I agree.
My one complaint is that just like I have to actually, my pinky is on the sleeve on it now because of that difference. There's not as much room between my hand because I grab outside the rack.
Yep.
And so there's not as much room.
And it's not quite as wide as the Buffalo bar, then.
Yeah, so it's just not quite as wide there. But that is what it is. I mean, it still feels good. The Buffalo bar always felt like it was going to dump down the back.
Yeah.
Like I really,
Oh, it did.
I
Just-
ended up
just
really
from the lack of
assuming
knurling?
Yeah.
a much more forward position on that than I normally would.
Just to keep it on your back.
But the Duffalo really feels good. I mean, that's a nice looking bar. It's a better bar.
It is
Hands down,
one
it's a
of the
better
coolest looking bars in the gym. I will give it that for
Yeah.
sure. It looks good.
And the power bar, I really haven't used it much. I deadlifted light with it one day, and that's all I've done with it. But same way, you can tell just by looking and feeling it that the quality is, as high as anything.
My
that we
biggest
have.
surprise with it is, so the closest comparison we have to it in the gym would be the Rogue
Yeah.
Ohio Power, the IPF spec
Yep.
Ohio Power Bar, and the biggest difference there is the Rogue bar. The knurling has way more of a bite to it. Like it's a really, really aggressive knurling on the Rogue bar, whereas this bar, the knurling's really nice. It's a finer, not as aggressive knurling. And I think you were talking about how Chris Duffin said he's holding the most weight he's ever held in his hands with this.
Right.
And at first I thought, like, that doesn't even seem possible. There's not enough bite to keep it in your hands. But then I also thought, like, I'm not a guy. I've never held 600 pounds in my hand. I've never held 700 pounds in my hand. I can see how if you get up high enough that really aggressive knurling might be more of a hindrance
It'll
because
just rip your
because
shit
it's just
up.
ripping stuff. So it's totally possible that someone out there, I'm sure, listening has more of an insight on this, that slightly less aggressive knurling is like the perfect mix for really, really heavy deadlifts.
The little bit I did deadlift with it, I just thought the knurling, it was just different. I don't even know how to describe it, but it just feels a little bit different. Than,
I don't know what the word the word I keep using is just finer.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to say.
All in all, I've heard people say that they like it better than the Rogue Ohio Power Bar, and I've heard people say that they actually kind of prefer the Rogue Ohio Power Bar in comparison too. So
Yeah.
Which is
some of
actually
both.
probably good reason to have both.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That way-
but or if you can,
I mean, not
if,
for
you- if you're on
everybody to
if you're
have
on a
both.
budget, maybe then get the Rogue one that's a couple $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
But I mean, for us to have both,
Yeah.
so we have
Yeah.
some people that prefer A and some
Right.
prefer B.
And they
Yes,
both
for sure.
use the really slim collar, that's like, is it even an inch across?
It's small, yeah.
So like that is a thing.
If you have a wide rack,
In our setups in the gym, I hate squatting with both of those bars because it doesn't give the plates enough clearance from the rack. So
And the rack
unless
that
you
you
have
squat in
the
is the
most
widest,
perfect,
too.
yeah, it is. So
you
unless you
squat
have
out of the white one or the black one?
the white one when you first walk in the door.
Gotcha.
So unless you have the most perfect straight step back, your weights will hit on the rack coming in and out and throw you off. But just something to think about depending on your setup.
Yep.
Bench though, it's awesome. I love it for bench. I use it for deadlifts too. It was great for deadlifts.
It seems really nice too.
Yeah. And again, the quality is
Also very
top-notch.
expensive. That's like you're certainly going to pay for it.
They probably don't have that Rogue scale of economy of scale there where
Yeah.
they produce thousands of bars where they can maybe bring the price down a little more.
Some people I know would scoff at how expensive it is, thinking that it's overpriced. And with what our situation is with Massenomics Gym, it's okay for us to get that, and it's not. It fits into our budget.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because we have a lot of people that want to use stuff like that.
Well,
But I do understand the point. Like if you're just at home in a garage gym, you
Yeah,
might
it
not
is.
need to
Well,
spend
also,
$600
like,
on a
if
bar.
you were trying to make a living out of Massenomics Gym, it'd be like, well,
Yeah.
I could probably
We
keep
don't need
$500
this.
in
Right.
my pocket this month.
Right.
but also the workout place you go to probably has machines that cost thousands of dollars that
For
get
sure.
used less than this bar
Yeah.
will for sure.
So I don't know. I really, really do like the Duffalo bar. I won't use the Bow bar now that the Duffalo's around.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
and that's probably going to be the case forever.
Yeah, I would say they're definitely premium products. If you have your own garage gym, I totally would understand never buying one of them. But yeah, if you have the option to, I don't think it's a bad.
Yeah, if you have money that's like disposable,
Burning a
and you
hole in
will
your
just-
pocket.
and you like shit that's awesome, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
You know what I mean? It's no different than someone driving an $80,000 fucking Escalade. Like,
True.
Like, dude, why'd you buy that? You could buy a fucking Ford Focus for $15,000.
You could have a fleet of Focuses.
Yeah.
But this is awesome, and that's all you have to say. Is like, it is awesome, and this bar is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
Escalade's pretty sweet.
It's
too.
hard to argue with that.
Yep.
So, but well, I think that's about all we've got through for today.
Is this
Nearing. Do we have
episode
much else?
93? So we have just a few to go till 100. Did you guys have any 100th episode ideas? I had one. I see what you
yours?
guys.
I haven't come up with anything yet.
Well,
I haven't even thought about that yet.
I think
seems
one of the
light
two of
years
you
away.
for sure would think that this would be a funny idea. The other one of you, I'm not sure if you like the idea as well yet or not. But I've never seen Tyler without a beard before.
that's not
so he
happening.
could shave his beard on air.
Yeah,
No, that won't happen.
It could be the shaving of Tyler Stone, episode
No, especially
100.
because we have to go to the Arnold, and I cannot
after that.
look like that. That would
We'll
be a
just
bad
wax
idea.
you down
But yours
from
probably
head to
grows
toe.
back pretty quick.
Yeah, but we would be starting from a very
Actually-
that's not happening. No.
I was actually surprised. I looked at the
we could start a donation account. Like if we get enough money donated?
Yeah, if I was literally
like if we hit $50, would you do it?
No. If you would honestly
55?
for me to go clean shaven, I don't think I would do that for less than a couple $1,000.
That much.
I look like a fat teenager.
I was gonna say I was amazed when I think I was just looking at that photo in the gym of when we moved the gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you have just barely a beard there.
Yeah, that's like what I'll do is I'll
Yeah, you
knock
always
it.
look like a different person
And I was
the
like,
first time I
oh,
see you.
I was
on
like,
the-
oh yeah,
knock it
Tyler
down.
didn't really have a beard before. Like to me, in my mind, you've always had this beard now.
Yeah,
No,
and then you look at that. Well, every time after you first shave, when I first see you, I'm like,
Jesus.
oh, who's this guy? Like,
He looks like a loser.
it's just like if you came in and had a buzz cut, it'd be like, are you the same person I know, or like is that a
What's going
yeah,
on
right.
here?
It's like you have to start over building a relationship.
What about all those times we had together?
Do they not count? No, I trim it down, but I never go clean shaven.
Yeah.
Ever. And I trim it down. I'll take like a number 4 and I'll buzz it all down, and that's like what you would see there. But I do that like
a few
3
times
times
a
a
year.
year.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just because I can't like manage tidying it up, it just I let it get out of hand. And then I take it down.
It's kind of like that one time Larry actually went clean shaven. And it was
Like,
like,
who are you?
Who the hell are you? And then since then, he hasn't been clean shaven again.
So yeah, that one's not going to work. What about Tommy shaving his head?
See, that can't
Let's
work.
do
either.
both.
Why didn't you pull?
Because I've had this longer time.
I'll do both things. You guys each do the
you'll
one,
shave
and
your
I'll
head.
and maybe I'll shave my face and my head.
No, so we're gonna have to start with something different.
Let us know your ideas.
Yeah, if you guys have ideas for what we should do for our 100th episode, let us know. That would actually be the best way to go about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really have any good ideas.
We should also,
Like
though,
ever.
with the people request, we should say thank you for people getting after Kaylor Woolham a little bit. He did finally kind of admit to wearing that lift hat every day of his life.
He posted on his Instagram story. He posted a picture of the hat and said that I don't know what he tagged us or something in there. And then in his most recent post, he was bench pressing wearing the hat, and he tagged us in that also. So that paid off. Kudos to Big Brad, you out there, and that's the first one that comes to mind that said something could work.
Yeah. Are we sitting with podcast reviews?
Oh, I was just going to check that. I meant to check that on my way over today, and I forgot to, so we'll see if my phone wants
Is the
to.
counter still so high that iTunes has trouble keeping track of it?
Yeah, it's like continually yeah.
Has it rolled back over to
No,
to
it's
one
not
again?
working right now. Yeah, it's rolled probably back around to like 52.
We've broke 1 million and they reset you.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, mine says can't connect right now, so it's doesn't
We're
like
in the
me.
dungeon.
But I assume
We have 51 ratings.
okay. Well, that is correct. That's the
Is
most
that what
recent.
we've got?
Yeah. So we haven't hustled for that for a while because we probably realized it doesn't matter that much, and 51's a decent number. If you click on it, it looks pretty good, but it really does matter. So if you could leave us a 5-star review, we would really appreciate it, and leave us an interesting comment along with it, and we'll love to read it on air.
Yeah.
I like that.
We were on a streak for there for a while, getting a lot of good
We were on a
reviews,
hot
so
streak. People were lighting that thing up.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I think we're like. Did you read the bowling one? Have we got that one on there?
Yeah,
Yes, we have that
yeah.
one. Yep.
It's a good one.
Okay, all right. We'll move on. I went through. I couldn't find anything further. But I was reading some of the old ones. I forgot how good they were.
Yeah, so be like those old
Step
ones.
up your game, guys.
Yeah.
So, but that'll do it for us today. Make sure you go to Massenomics.com. There you're going to find our store. You can find the Massenomics Flex Flask in 6 different
There it
designs,
is.
colors, styles. You can get all of our hats, shirts, including the super dope crew neck that Tanner's got on. What other hats do we have? None of the ones that we've got, but on are available for sale.
But there's a lot of cool ones.
All the cool ones.
All the cool.
A lot of ones with this logo.
Yep.
With our Massenomics logo.
We got shirts, hats, banners. The Lift banner, the Weekend Warrior banner, is taken off.
It's back in stock again, but it's probably not going to be in stock again for that long because we're down to a few in inventory again. So it's a good price for a pretty cool banner that you can hang up in
And they are showing up in the greatest gyms across America. So
Yep.
Basically,
Yep, they're surfacing everywhere.
yeah. So make sure you check all that stuff out. There you can also find all of our articles, videos, and all the other good content we put out. Make sure you go to youtube.com/Massenomics. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We still have videos from last year's Arnold that I know y'all haven't looked at yet. And you better check those out because we're going to hustle pretty hard at the Arnold this year again. So get caught up on those before we drop all that new shit on you. Facebook, like us on Facebook.
Help us
subscribe
get
to the
over
page.
the next 1,000 mark.
Yeah, we got to get to 200,000. It's going to be a big number here.
Yeah.
So get us over 200,000 followers on Facebook. It's important to us.
We're within like 100, so
yeah,
it could happen
easily.
by tomorrow.
Yep. So once we cross that hump, I'd like to get that done before we get to our 100th episode.
Yeah,
That'd be a big
would be
landmark.
nice.
Get over
Yeah.
200,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like that. So then if you need to get at us with any business stuff, if you want to send us money, sponsor the show, send us money, or also send us money, you can send us money to getbig@massenomics.com.
do we accept Bitcoin yet?
No, we only take real money because we're humans.
Okay. You mean I can't buy drinks at the bar with Bitcoin?
You can try.
I'll just get you one sometime.
Oh, okay.
I owe you one from that last
Yeah,
thing.
that works.
Speaking of that, guys, I got the Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys want to get me a drink or
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
I
pay
thought
me
I
for
told
that.
you I would get you a drink
Is
sometime.
that how that worked?
Yeah.
I knew that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I thought we were on the drink sometime.
Get you like a croissant sandwich in the airport or something.
I'll be set.
Yeah.
They have the double now, by the way.
Double croissant sandwich.
But that'll do it for us today. You can follow us all on Instagram. I'm Tyler. You can follow me at Tyler F. and Stone. That's Tyler EFF Stone. And Tommy.
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
And Tanny.
The Massenomics Instagram account at Massenomics.
Alrighty. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week, and stay strong.
Later.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.